Welcome back to Just Scribble for an unboxing from Gilio. So before we get into the unboxing and we open this up and we check it out and we do a little bit of a chat about why I bought this and a comparison and all of those types of things, I did want to give a little caveat or confession. I'm not really sure what you would call it, but I did want to just comment on the fact that I was buying another Gilio. So this is going to be my third Gilio that I own. I own two other Gilios that are in B6 size in their folio style, like for your B6 Stalogy or your common planner or something like that. One of them I bought from someone I know in the planner community and I got a really good deal on it. And the other one I purchased directly from Gilio during a 50% off sale that they were having. And in the video where I was unboxing the one from their sale, my blush matte Croco, I did mention that in my opinion, Gilio is an overpriced brand, that I think that their covers are overpriced for what you get. And I still stand by that opinion. Obviously, I'm getting ready to unbox another one with you guys and I will discuss why I'm doing that, but I still do believe that Gilio is overpriced. Generally speaking, you can find something similar in an extremely similar, almost identical style, like as far as the pocket configuration and the quality and all of that, for significantly cheaper. That said, Gilio offers one leather that I am smitten about, that I really love, which is their croc matte, and I haven't found anyone else that offers a croc matte that is like theirs that I love. This is just specific to the croc matte. I just really like their croc matte, and the only other company that I know of that has a croc matte is VDS. I have purchased samples from VDS for their croc matte, and it is not the same. It doesn't have the same feel and the same texture and the same look and the same colors, and I just think Gilio does a really good job at their croc matte. So although I still believe that their covers are overpriced, they do have something that I can't get anywhere else. And so I made the conscious decision to purchase something that costs more than what I think it's really worth, because I really wanted the leather. And that, in all honesty, that's what it is. I had some extra mad money and I had been really wanting a cover in this particular croc matte color. They had one in stock. They had it at one of their deal prices. I don't know enough about Gilio to keep straight like good deal versus premium deal and all that kind of stuff. Even with the deal, I still think it was a little bit overpriced, but it gave me the leather that I wanted, the style that I wanted, and all the things. And it wasn't exorbitant. It was cheaper than buying a custom from VDS in a croc matte that I don't like as much as this croc matte and doesn't come in this colorway. So that's kind of my caveat or confession, I guess, is that I still believe that this is an overpriced cover. I fully admit that I paid overpriced for this cover, but I'm okay with it because I really love this leather and I'm really excited about this cover. So all that out of the way, let's open this up and check it out. And now my neighbor's car alarm is going off. I hope that that's not picking up on camera too much, and I apologize because I can't do anything about it until they turn it off. So let's open this up and check it out. I did get this envelope in my order, so let's open that up first. I wasn't expecting a card. Oh, it's a Christmas card. And I have been sick, so I apologize if I don't sound as animated and as excited as I should, because I am really excited for this. I just feel really, really crummy. So it's just a holiday card, like a thanking you for being a loyal customer and that kind of thing. And then it had a free gift in it. It's like a leather kind of paper clip kind of thing. So this is an old Hobonichi, but I guess you just slide it over the page like that as like a page marker. I'm really not sure. I'm not a fan of these types of page marker things. Like I have another one, I think this one is from Estelle maybe, and it's kind of the same concept, right? It's leather. Well, I think this one is fake leather, but it just slides over your pages like that and it marks your pages, but it's super chunky and really like poofy, so I don't like them for my planners, but maybe this would be nice to have in a book. It's in this sort of acid green leather color. It's not really a color I would normally gravitate towards, but I actually know someone that loves this color, so maybe I will actually gift that. All right, so that's the little Christmas thing, but here is my cover and I'm really excited about this. So excited. All right, feels good from there. So, like I said, the leather that I love from Gilio, that only Gilio has, or that I've only found from Gilio, is the matte croc. And the color that I have been really wanting is their charcoal matte croc. And this is my matte croc charcoal. Oddly, it is like way shinier than the other mattes, which is weird. The other ones are not quite so shiny. I thought it would be like more matte, so that's a little bit of a bummer. I've only seen a few of them, but most of them looked more matte, but it's not shiny. Hold on. This is a croc from Seven Felicity, and then this one I think is Moterm. Yeah, Moterm. And these are like really slick, like plasticky feeling. Like they feel really cheap and plasticky. I'm not a huge fan of them. I'm actually going to be painting one of these or another one that I had with you guys soon, but it's not shiny like those. So it is different than those, and it does feel like, it feels like leather that's been embossed, whereas these feel like plastic. So it doesn't feel like that, but it doesn't have the amazing feeling that the other ones that I have feel like. So maybe croc matte isn't my ideal matte from Gilio, but I'm still excited because of the size and something else inside. But let's check this out. So this is an A6 ring planner. There's the like how to open your rings instructions, but this is an A6 ring planner from Gilio because I have been really enjoying my A6 rings, but there's something that I want different from A6 rings, and that's why I bought this to kind of hold me over until I order a custom from VDS. And also I really wanted a charcoal matte one. Okay, so you may have noticed one of the things that I was also really excited about is that I could get black rings in this, and I just think it looks so sleek. I mean, look at that. It has the matte charcoal with the black rings. It's just so pretty. These are black matte rings, and they are 23 millimeter. So you can see there. And I just thought it would be such a sleek A6 planner. And then you do get a free pen. So this is the pen I picked. It's like a matte mist color, I think is what it was called, but it's kind of purpley. I just thought it would be kind of pretty with this, so I picked that one. And it does come with a flyleaf. So one of the things that I was excited about with the Gillio A6 is that it has 2 pen loops. So one of the things that I really love about my VDS, and we're going to check out a comparison in a second, is that this has 2 pen loops because I keep like a highlighter in one and a pen in one, generally speaking. And so I wanted 2 pen loops, but their planner doesn't come with 2 pen loops, but they have a pen loop here and then they have a pen loop on the flyleaf. So that means I get 2 pen loops in here. It does have these, it does have these ring protectors, but they're just like stuck in like with a piece of plastic. They're not permanently affixed. So just stuck in with like this little piece of plastic. I'll probably take those out because I don't actually really like ring protectors. I've discovered I did put them on some of my ring planners, and I'm not a huge fan of like how the pages lay with them on there. So I'll probably keep those out, but I can always tuck them back in if I decide that I want them. So it does come with ring protectors. It does come with the flyleaf. One thing that it does come with that I don't like and don't want is the big back pocket, but my VDS ready to ship has that too. So it's not like a deal breaker. It's just not something I would get if I was getting one custom. And I have the little authenticity card there. So it has 1, 2, 3, 4 like credit card pockets there, and then it has a full slip pocket here, a full slip pocket here, and a full slip pocket here, and they're all lined with cloth. And then on this side there's no slip pocket there. It has a little scoopy card pocket there, another little scoopy card pocket there, and then it has a zipper pocket that's gusseted there, that's lined. These are like fabric-y lined, and this has like a slick lining in it, and then the same slick lining is what's inside the big back pocket. And then it has the little piece here that kind of covers the zipper to protect your inserts or your dashboards or your page lifter from the zipper. This isn't my ideal pocket configuration for an A6 Rings, so I wouldn't carry this as a wallet, so you don't really need the zipper, but I have a zipper in my VDS as well, because that's how their ready to ship comes, and so I'm kind of okay with it, but it's not what will be in my A6 Rings when I get one custom made from VDS. Okay, so that's my cover. I do kind of wish it was a little bit more matte, like on the outside, but it's really soft, feels really good in the hands, and I like the profile. So let me talk to you guys a little bit about why I decided to buy this. One reason is I really wanted a black cover. I don't have actually very many black covers at all. It's not something I normally gravitate towards, but I thought it would be really classy. I also wanted another Gilio matte croc, and this is the color that I really wanted it in. I had been waiting to buy one, and so I've had this kind of like on my wish list and just deciding what cover I wanted to buy it in. And I debated on whether I wanted to get one in a weeks cover, because I am using some weeks sizes this year for my everyday carry, but the other everyday carry that I'm using predominantly besides Passport is going to be my A6 Rings. And so I decided to actually go with the rings, partly because they had the matte black rings in the 23mm, which is smaller millimeter than what I'm using right now, which is what I'm looking to do, is make my A6 Rings smaller to have a smaller profile. And so some of it was because they had the matte black rings, and so I thought it would be just like a really handsome cover combination and just a really good cover to have like in my stash for a classy look when I wanted to carry a black cover. So I think it's perfect for winter. I think it's perfect obviously for Halloween time. It's probably not something I would carry during the summer, but I think it's perfect for right now. And oh, it feels really good. So I'm really excited. So one of the reasons that I decided to buy the A6 Rings was because they had the matte black 23mm, and so that meant that I could get this all black cover with the black rings, and it would be really sleek and really special. So I thought it would be a good choice for what I was going to buy the charcoal croc matte in. The other reason is that as much as I really love the Alisson leather from VDS and I really like my ready to ship, this is a little bit big for me. I don't chunk up my planners, and so the 25mm rings are actually a little bit big. I don't need the big back pocket, which obviously this has as well, but I don't need the big back pocket. But there's also like a ton of extra space in this planner, if you can see, and so it's just kind of bulky. It's not that much smaller than carrying like my B6 Stalogy or my B6 Common Planner or something like that around. And as much as I'm really loving the A6 Rings and the inserts that I'm using and the setup and all of that, I was wanting to go smaller. And VDS actually sells 20mm rings, so these are 25. They actually sell 20mm rings, and they actually can make their cover if you're doing a custom, which is what I would do next time from VDS, so I could get everything I wanted and all the things I don't want. So like no back pocket, no zipper pocket, a chunkier strap, all those kinds of things. They have that, but where they do it where it's not widened as much, and so you have 20mm rings, which would be smaller rings by 5mm from these, and then the actual dimensions of the overall planner are smaller too. So it would be shorter, narrower, smaller rings, and just much more compact, smaller in my hand. But it's really expensive to order this custom from VDS, like when I price out everything that I want to do to it and all of the adjustments and all the customizations and all that. And so I wanted to make sure that the dimensions were right and that it was really going to work for me. And so the Gilio is smaller than this VDS ready to ship. So let me snap this back together. But it's not quite as small as the one that I was planning on making. And so it is a little bit shorter, not a lot, but a little bit shorter. It is narrower, it has smaller rings, and it's just overall a little bit more compact. And so I thought it would be kind of a good test to make sure that how I use it would work in this smaller one, and then that way I could judge to see whether or not the VDS dimensions were really what I wanted or if I wanted to adjust them some. I do have the dimensions of all of these written down. I left them I left them in the other room, but I will put them down here for what the dimensions are of the Gilio versus the VDS for the two ready to ship options. And then in the description box, I'll also put the A6 widened and unwidened options with the 20mm rings. But I wanted to kind of show you guys a size difference so you guys could see kind of the size and layout difference. Obviously I have, this one is set up from December because I'm not using this right now because I'm using my Estelle weeks in January. But maybe if I take out the inserts, it'll be easier to compare. Yeah, let me do that. Let me take these out real quick. Because when I move into this one, I'm going to have to do new inserts anyways because these are from December, and I'm going to change the setup a little bit more and all of that as well. Let's see. Let me turn them back to back first. This is harder to do in rings just because the rings get in the way when you go to lay things next to each other. But it's a little hard to lay them completely back to back because of how the back pockets lay, which is one of the reasons I don't like back pockets. I do have stuff in there right now, but I don't normally. And they add this extra like hump and things don't lay flat. So it's going to be a little bit hard, as you can see, to kind of lay them flat. But you can see that the Gilio is narrower there. And then it is a little bit shorter, as you can see there. And then hopefully you can kind of see the ring size. So these are 25mm rings and these are 23mm rings. The rings that I'm planning on moving into when I get a custom VDS are 20mm rings. And I also thought it would be good to have 3 different options. So depending on the season of life or what I'm using the planner for, I may need more rings or chunkier rings or smaller rings. And so then I would have kind of 3 sizes and 3 different styles also. So the layout is similar but different as well. So on the VDS, and I do have a full unboxing of this, I'll link it in the cards, but you do have a zipper pocket over here. Then you have this slip pocket, and then you have a pocket there. There's no other pocket underneath here. It's just this one pocket here. And then this is a secretarial pocket. Then this is a secretarial pocket. And then you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 card pockets there. You get 2 pen loops, 1 on each side, and you get the big back pocket. So that's the default A6 Rings senior size, ready to ship. And then the Gilio still has that pocket, but it's on this side instead of that side. And there's no secretarial pockets, which I'm not a fan of, so I'm okay with that. I do wish this was a slip pocket. I would actually use that. I do like this kind of card configuration better, I think, just because I don't use it really for a wallet. So for deco and things like that, I think that this pocket configuration will be better for me. It's a really tight pocket. Like, I can't get that card in there. Over here, they slide in. They slide in just fine. But they have about the same amount of like card slots because you have 4 here, and then you have 2 here, you have 6 here, and then you have the zipper pocket and the zipper pocket, and then you have 1, 2, 3 slip pockets here, and here you have 1 slip pocket there, the secretarial there, and the secretarial there, and then the big back pocket. So it's pretty much the same as far as like the storage pieces. I do have a leather flyleaf for this one, but I didn't like it, so I took it out. I will have to like it in this one to have the second pen loop. I may like it better because it has a second pen loop on it than I did with this one because it didn't really have a purpose. And so it was just kind of chunky in my planner with no real purpose. I also think that the Gillian one is thinner. It seems thinner. Oh, I have it right here. Hold on. This is the VDS flyleaf. The Gilio one seems it is. So the Gilio one is thinner, which I like. But you can get the flyleaf on the VDS, but it's an extra cost, which I wouldn't do again. But yeah, I mean, it's not a ton smaller, but it's a little bit smaller. And so I thought it would be worth a try. And it was in stock and on one of those deal things. And I really do like the matte leather. And this is growing on me that it's not like quite as matte feeling. I'll try to take some pictures, or you know what, actually, when I have this all set up, I'll do a video set up, and when I do that, we will do a comparison of the 3 mattes that I have. That way you guys can see them and like see the difference, because I didn't really expect this to be this feel. I thought it would be like their other matte Crocs. But I will say I have seen their black Croc and it's like really shiny, which is what I don't like, and I would not buy one of those from Gilio. The only leather that I could ever see myself buying from them is their matte Croc, and I only like certain colors of it. I really like the blush one that I have. Like, I really like it a lot. And so I would probably buy another one of those in like a different size. I like the vintage gray a lot, which is what my first one was. And then there's a red one, and I love the red one. So if they did a Valentine's sale, it's highly possible I would end up buying a red one. There's more stuff in this ring setup than I'm actually going to have in it ultimately, because I'm going to be downsizing and kind of streamlining and simplifying, but I thought I would just move these in since I already took them out of the VDS, just so we can see. So it works great, like even as full as it is on the 23mm, but it's going to be less chunky because I'm switching out some paper, taking out some of the tab dividers, and changing all that up. If I end up getting the unwidened 20mm ring VDS, I won't be able to use side tabs, and I actually prefer top and bottom tabs, so I'm probably going to be changing this up anyways, just so that I can kind of practice and figure out what I want. But it fits like that, and it fits really nice. And I could move this leather flyleaf like inside if I wanted to, or I could keep it in the front like that. But that allows me to I don't really like their pens, but you know what? Let's take that pen out because I would never use that pen in here. I would, however, use my Uniball one because I love Uniball one. And then I would use like a mild liner or something like that, but we'll put this Zig color dot just because it's what I had sitting right next to me, which sticks out just because it's not really designed for this pen loop, and the mild liner would fit in there better. But that's what it would look like. It feels really good in the hand. It does feel quite a bit smaller because those rings are smaller, which I like. So I think this is probably like the largest rings that I would want. And I think I would be good with the 20mm rings, especially once I take out some of this extra stuff. I just don't really need that much stuff. Like, I really love watching people's flip throughs of their ring planners with like all the junk they put in it, and they put like so many vellums and acetates and dividers and stuff that has absolutely no functional purpose whatsoever. And so just to get to a section, they have to flip through like 8 things, and then they'll have sticky note dashboards everywhere and all these trackers, most of which a lot of them seem to never actually use, but I still love watching them flip through. And like, they have these planners that are so chunky they can't even snap them, and they look so cool. But that's just not me. I need it to be functional, and I want it to do its job, and I don't need all that extra stuff. And even once I take out the tabs that I don't need and stuff like that, I can still put acetate and vellum and stuff like that in it and make it cute. It doesn't have to be not cute to be functional, but I don't need all that extra stuff. And I certainly, because I've changed up kind of how I'm using this, I certainly don't need like all of these dividers and things like that. So I think that it's going to be really good once I get it all set up. So I'm not sure when I'm moving back into A6 Rings, I'm going to get it all set up, but I'm using the Aristel weeks right now. So I don't know if this is going to be February or if I'll wait until March to set this up. I'm not sure, but I'll probably get it all set up and then share it with you guys before I'm even using it, just so I can talk to you guys about how I have it set up and how I'm using it, because whether you use rings or not, you can do the same kind of setup in anything. So if you used a traveler's notebook, you could do what I'm going to be doing in here. If you used a bound book like Astrology, like Bujo style, kind of like build your own planner style, you could do it. Or if you're using a printed planner that has note pages, you could do it. And so just because, or just when I'm in rings, doesn't mean that it can't be helpful and inspirational to you if you don't use rings. So it's funny because years ago I used rings and they were never really a good fit. Like I liked them okay, but I could never really kind of find my way. And I think part of it was the covers I was using and the size of the rings that came on those covers, like Kiki K and stuff like that. They were just really bulky and big. I think part of it was because at the time I didn't really think through getting better paper to put into it to use paper that I love in it. So I was just using like printer paper instead of using Tomoe River paper and Cosmo paper and things like that. And I like it much more now that I'm using paper that I love, but I also love it because now I found that there's smaller ring options. And then I really love this size. I do like my plotters too, and like I have pocket size ring and plotter, and then Bible size, which is personal size. I like those as well, but this shape, this page shape is kind of my happy place. I like a more square page shape, and so I really like this size, like this size paper. And I don't even know if this existed when I did rings before, and so I used to say that rings weren't really my thing. So see these tabs, they get caught on this zipper pocket. So, or maybe it's my page lifter getting caught. Something's getting caught. I'll have to figure that out. But I used to be like, oh, I don't use rings. Rings annoy me. I realized that rings annoy me when they're big. When they're small, 23 apparently is kind of my max size. This size, the 25, was okay, but a little bit too big. So I think 23 and smaller, because my plotters are 10. That's my happy place in rings. So as long as I can have tiny rings, then I'm okay. And I like the rings, and I like the flexibility, and I like the way that I'm using it. And I think it has a good place in my planner system when I want it and when it fits. But I'm also not gonna force myself to use it all the time if it's not the right system for me at the time, or our life needs are a little bit different. But that's my kind of chatty unboxing of my new Gilio. It feels really good. I'm really excited about it. It's really pretty. I think I'm gonna like this. So I am going to set this up, not this weekend, but when I'm feeling a little bit better. I am going to set this up. I'm going to change out the tabs. I'm going to change out the vellum. I'm going to change out my insert. I'm just going to actually completely overhaul the system. And then I will come back and I will do a video with you guys of how I have it set up and how I plan to use it. And on that video, we'll compare the 3 mats that I have so that you guys can check those out. But I'll also put links in the cards above to the VDS unboxing and then the other Gilio unboxing, so you guys can watch those in the meantime. If you have any questions or comments, please don't hesitate to put them down below, and I will definitely get back with you. Give me a thumbs up if you liked this video. Make sure that you're subscribed so you don't miss future videos, and don't forget to just scribble.